when you start looking at what condition our branches of the military is in right now, they're in dismal position. We have low numbers in the Air Force, we have low numbers in the Marines, we have low numbers in the Navy, we have low numbers in the Space Force, we have low numbers in the Army. And so something's going on wrong. It can't be going great. And when in any type of big organization, when the top is responsible for what's happening below them, and if the top's not getting it right, then yeah, it's time for them to go. And I think that's a perspective that we need to bring in. So I'm not concerned about his ability not to ever run a large corporation. That isn't the requirement. That is never the requirement. The requirement is that President Trump gets to nominate the individual and the Senate gets to confirm them. And I trust President Trump's decision in this one. I feel like he's a good pick that'll bring a perspective to the Army or to the military or to the Pentagon without being necessarily politically correct. Politically correctness is what's killed this country right now. People just want to tell me the way it is. Tell me what the facts are, and let's move forward. And you're not going to agree with every decision he makes. You're not going to agree with every decision you or I make. But I do feel like he's going to come at it from a perspective. And keep in mind, he did serve this country. He does have a love for this country. He has respect for the service too of the men and women that's in uniform. He just brings a unique perspective that may be different than you and I. But I'm actually excited about the pick.
I want to note that you were publicly supporting Senator John Thune of South Dakota to be the Republican leader, and he won that election. What do you think that means, and how concerned are you about, I mean, there's a lot of questions right now about, is the U.S. Senate under Republican control going to stand up for the advice and consent role of the U.S. Senate, or is it just kind of bend and go along with whatever the president wants? Tell us about Thune. Tell us about that debate.
We're going to work very closely with the president. President Trump won a resounding election November 5th, and the American people won a different direction. That's why he won the popular vote by almost 5 million, and last time I checked, 312 electoral votes. That hasn't happened in quite some time. And the idea that we're not going to work with the president never crossed my mind. So the Senate and the House has got to work closely with the president. The American people gave us that mandate. At the same time, we feel very confident on the direction that Thune and President Trump is going to lead us. President Trump and John Thune has worked really hard at building the relationship. There were some questions about that relationship, like he's Mitch McConnell 2.0. I can tell you there's a different type of leadership through John Thune. I consider him a friend. I consider President Trump a friend. And I'm excited about them working together and leading the American American in the right direction. I think that the American people are going to see a unified government working for the people again. And I'm very excited to be part of it.
Is the Senate going to confirm Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General, or do you think there's going to be just recess appointments?
No, the recess is a little more difficult than that. Keep in mind, the way the recess works, President Obama tried to do this in 2014, and the court struck it down. So to just go through the process, first of all, both chambers have to recess for 10 days. The minority party, which in this case is the Democrats, does have a lot of leverage to pull to keep us open at the same time. During that recess appointments, during that 10 days, they're temporary appointments. They only last until the next Congress begins, or a maximum 2 years. So it's not ideal. The ideal way is for us to move forward. But if that's the last resort, we will absolutely do it. If Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate want to keep us from making any of these appointments, we are going to do our best to do whatever we have to do to get the cabinet in a position and get the appointments in a position so President Trump can go to work on day one. So we will do whatever it takes, but that's the last resort.
Last resort. Are you going to vote for Matt Gaetz?
You know, Matt Gaetz and I, there's no question that we've had our differences. They've been very public about it. I completely trust President Trump's decision-making on this one. But at the same time, he's got to come to Congress and sell himself. There's a lot of, or to the Senate and sell himself. There's a lot of questions that are going to be out there. He's got to answer those questions. And hopefully he's able to answer the questions right. And if he can, then we'll go through the confirmation process.
Senator Markwayne Mullin from the great state of Oklahoma. Good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it.